Hey guys, I'm Lee from Lee Likes Music, the place to make music more meaningful. And in today's video, we're counting down the top 10 facts about Queens of the Stone Age new album, which is called Villains. So that's coming up. Number 10, teaser videos. So before Queens of the Stone Age released Villains, they basically put out a lot of teaser videos on social media, kind of promoting their new album. There were 5 snippets in particular that was released sequencing one week after another. And what you could see in these snippets were basically just the band members in the studio recording their guitars, vocals. You could also see them sort of driving in cars and stuff like that. And you can also hear some sounds and snippets from the actual album. Another video which is also really funny to watch that was released later on is the Villains Focus Group, which is basically a video directed by Liam Lynch. He is a famous director, I guess. I've heard about him before, but I don't know how he, connects in all of this. He basically made a video where he interviewed all of the previous Queens of the Stone Age albums. Yes, I know it sounds really weird, but you just have to watch it if you haven't watched it already. Really funny, weird idea, but go and check it out. There's links below if you haven't watched it. Number 9, the Gary incident. So after Queens of the Stone Age had released their album Villains, they basically went on tour as usual, and when they got to Dublin and they finished their show in Dublin, they went back to their van, and in the van they sensed this smell of McDonald's, and none of them had any McDonald's during the show or right after the show. What the fuck smells like McDonald's? And then all of a sudden, this guy just jumps up from behind the van, in the back of the van, and they were like, what the hell is going on? And they were sort of angry and shocked, but at the same time they were just laughing because it was so amazing and surprising. So they threw this guy off the van, and they were stuck in traffic. So it didn't really help with the guy, he was just running after them, and he was like, fuck you! Great show! He was both angry and happy at the same time, it seems like. So that was completely random, and it was really funny and memorable as well. They didn't know the name of the guy, so they just called him Gary. And ever since they made this interview and told the story, he has been known as Gary, and the story is named The Gary Incident. There's a link to that video below if you want to watch that as well. Number 8, the first song. The Way You Used to Do, this very dancey, poppy song, was actually a demo, and the demo that Joshua Homme introduced to the band when they were first settling down to create this album. According to an interview with Michael Schumann, the bassist of Queens of the Stone Age, this was what led to the creation of the rest of the album. This is what introduced them to this more poppy, up-tempo sound that you can hear on many of the other songs on the album as well. Number 7, Boneface. Boneface is actually the only artist who has been asked to do the album artwork for Queens of the Stone Age twice. If you look at the Queen's discography before Villains and Like Clockwork, you'll see that every artwork is vastly different, and that is because they had one separate artist for each new project, each new album that they did. But for some reason, it seems like they have a connection with Boneface. It seems like they really bond with his way of drawing. He has this very post-apocalyptic, doomy, weird, dark and twisted way of creating art, or that is at least his style in terms of what I perceive it as. Number 6, the deluxe version. So there is a deluxe version of the album, and what is really interesting about this is that you get the whole full sauce, should I say, of Boneface's artwork when it comes to the album. So it's a little coffee table book, basically. It's a catalog of all of the artwork. I think there's one piece of art for every single song, which is super interesting. I don't know why I haven't bought the deluxe version. I suck. Why? Number 5, why was he the guy? So in every single interview that you have watched of Queens of the Stone Age about their newest album Villains, you probably heard this question being asked. Why Mark Ronson? Mark Ronson produced a record. Why did you go with that guy? Mark Ronson, he is a pop producer. That's so weird. Well, from what I understand, many of the members of Queens of the Stone Age actually have known Mark Ronson for a very long time. He's also a big fan of the band, so he didn't want to take over anything. He let a lot of space open for the band to sort of do their thing and experiment for themselves. More importantly, the reason why I think they chose Mark Ronson as a producer for this album is because they saw it as a challenge. Josh always loves to be intimidated by the people that he works with, because that forces him to create something new. And I think he wanted to challenge fans out there as well, to just say like, hey, fuck you guys, I don't care about what you think, I'm gonna go for something new, I'm gonna work with the people that I want to work with. And yeah, I guess it worked. Number 4, the Polygraph Test. On June 14th, the Queens announced their newest album, Villains, and they did this through the Polygraph Test video. It's a teaser taking the form of a comedy skit that was produced and also featured by Liam Lynch. In the video, you'll basically see Joshua Homme strapped up to this lie detector, and Liam is interviewing him about the newest project, about Villains, and you can see that he's obviously lying. He wants to keep it a secret, but when I'm talking about this, it seems like the lying detector thing is like super serious, but you gotta check the video out yourself if you haven't. But I guess you're a hardcore fan, so you probably have, but I'll leave the link down there below, you know, if you want to check it out. Number 3, the Classic Riff. The opening riff of the song The Evil Has Landed was actually a riff that Joshua Homme created 15 years ago, which explains why it sounds so old-fashioned. It sounds very Queens of the Stone Age, like 10 years ago-ish. It was something that I noticed immediately because I've been a fan of Queens of the Stone Age for many years now, and that was one of the songs that really stuck out. It was quite old-fashioned. So yeah, I don't know, I liked it. Number 2, the phrase. Feet Don't Fail Me is basically a song off the new album, but the phrase Feet Don't Fail Me Now was actually a phrase that was written by Iggy Pop. So it could have been a song or a phrase that could have been included into the post-pop depression album. But if it was a part of that project, I guess it would have sounded a bit different compared to what it is here. Number 1, the longest intro ever. Now that we're already talking about Feet Don't Fail Me, I might as well mention that Feet Don't Fail Me features the longest intro that the Queens have ever made. In an interview, Josh explained the reason why the intro is so insanely long, and the reason is because he wanted to get people comfortable. He wanted people to lay back and just listen to this before the rug is pulled and people fall. What that means is he basically wanted to create a surprise moment where people go like, you know, they're dropping their jaws, and suddenly the song starts, and it's more memorable in that way. That is what he wanted to, that is the effect that he wanted to create. So yeah, that was the top 10 facts about Queens of the Stone Age Villains album, and if you want to be a part of this month's giveaway, then I highly suggest you watch this video right here, and you can actually win 2 vinyls and a souvenir from Norway if you participate in it. Okay, so I hope you're excited about that. If you want to watch more videos, then make sure to subscribe by clicking the red subscribe button below. Also make sure you hit that bell icon beside the subscribe button, because in that way you'll always get notified when I upload new videos to this beautiful place right here. Hope to talk to you later. Bye.